Hi, I'm in Melbourne, outside of Vic Roads here, and the coach, she's gone inside to get a Victorian driver's license. I thought while we're talking about driver's licenses, I can share a couple of funny anecdotes about my life with driver's licenses. So yeah, it started off in New South Wales in the 80s. Yep, I'm that old, and got a New South Wales driver's license. And about a year after that, moved to the UK. So I have family over there. I was actually born in the UK. And while over there, got a car, so I had to get a UK driver's license, which I can actually show you. It's this pink bit of paper. I know, piece of paper, right? And it's actually still valid. So this was issued to me in the 80s, and it has an expiry date of when I'm 70, which is not quite yet. I'm still got a few years on me here. But yeah, in 2036. So this bit of paper is kind of still valid. The only thing is it actually has my grandparents' address on it, and they have long since died. Yeah, so I've got this out, and I'll tell you why in a minute. But I've also got another driving license anecdote from when we lived in Massachusetts. We moved there in about 2000, and I took my New South Wales license, which I had then, to Massachusetts, but they weren't interested in doing any sort of transfer. They wanted me to do the written test and a driving test, and this is when I was 34, mind you. So anyway, I guess you have to do what you've got to do. So I did the written test. I'm pretty sure, yeah, I must have passed that, and then booked in for a driving test. And we were at the registry, and before I even drove off in the car with the instructor inside, he said, "Show me your hand signals." And I'm like, what? Yeah, so in Massachusetts and probably other states in the United States, yeah, they have hand signals. So I guess if your car signals are not working, you've got to stick your arm out of the window and do particular, I'm sure some of my viewers will think it's quite normal, but I thought it was kind of weird. Anyway, so I did not know my hand signals, and he failed me on the spot. So I went home with my tail between my legs, and then I learnt about the hand signals in Massachusetts. To be honest, I've forgotten them, but it's something, that's like stop. That's, yeah, whatever, and I think it's down is for the other direction. Really weird. Yeah, so anyway, went back a couple of weeks later, got my hand signals correct, and in fact there was a different instructor, and he said, "Oh, you obviously know how to drive. Can you just take me to the post office? I need to run an errand." So that was the extent of my driving test. So I had a Massachusetts license for a while, then came back to Australia, and yada, yada, yada. Now, the reason why I am getting out my UK pink driver's license is because the channel, the coach and I, we're all heading to the UK, and we're going to do some travel around the UK and Europe. We don't know for how long. It'll be here for at least a year or two. And so this driver's license will be handy, because the reason why is I want to buy a car while we're in the UK. We're not going to go and buy a new one. We will buy used, and of course, because of my channel, and because we're never going back to ICE vehicles, we're going to get an EV. A used EV. I've been looking online. There are a few websites and apps. Believe it or not, they actually have Gumtree in the UK. So there's used cars for sale there. There's also the UK AutoTrader and Carwow. So I don't know if you guys have ever watched any of Matt's videos about EVs on the Carwow channel on YouTube, but I do like me some Matt. But yeah, if you've got any ideas on reputable places to buy used cars, yeah, leave a comment below. So the idea is that we will travel to the UK in March, so coming up real soon. Buy a used car. I'll get this license updated. I think in the process they're going to issue me with a plastic card, and it will have a valid address on there. Yeah, so the plan is that we will do more content in Europe. Obviously, my focus on the channel to date has been Starlink and Outback remote charging. Clearly the Outback remote charging is is not going to be viable over there, but we'll focus on charging if that's what you guys are interested in. We will do some Starlink. I think, again, because we're not going to be so remote, I don't know that it's going to get used as much. But yeah, anything there. But yeah, so interested to hear what sort of content you would like to see while we're over there. Travelogs, if that's what interests you. I'd normally sort of steer clear of those and try to focus on EVs, charging and the like. And also like brands, what should we look for in terms of EVs? I've been looking at Polestar 2s, sort of typically with high mileage, maybe 80,000 miles, but they're in the sort of £15,000 range. That's kind of where we're budgeting. Also looking at Jaguar I-Pace, but I do know that there's been a recall on some of the batteries, and I think in the in the US, some owners are getting their cars taken from them in a buyback scheme. But I don't know what's happening in the UK. But yeah, other brands. I think that Tesla might be a bit on the nose at the moment, so I don't know that it'll be a Tesla, but maybe a Kona. But yeah, after ideas. So again, leave some of those things down there. And we will see you out there, probably on the other side of the world. So stay safe out there. Cheers.